All right, so that's another different Magellan. That's a RoadMate. Okay, so that'll be 7. Let's see the model number. $14.70. All right, so let's see if we can turn it on. And the power. All right, so screen is on. That's good. So we have power. We're booting up. All right, so it boots up. Okay. Again, same thing. Touch seems to be working. Yep, we're getting some satellites here. Yeah, that's nice. And we even have some battery. All right. Well, that's great. Didn't even ask about the update. So working. All right, so let's keep on going. All right, so I tested the last of our GPS devices, the Magellan RoadMate 1470. Also seems to be working. Let me very quickly show you the map stats. The similar issue with the previous Magellan is that the updates are not really available. So this one has a slightly different issue. Then I connected it to the smart GPS. I think that's what it's called, the Magellan's tool. Okay, so let's see. Product information. Yeah, I see. Nav Street version, base map detailed map version 35. So I guess that's better than the previous one. But I still have no idea how recent is that. Okay. Is there anything else interesting here? No. Yeah, apart from that, it's all good. Right, so the problem with this one was that then I connected it to a smart GPS. It actually, well, it didn't show any map updates, but it did show a software update that should be available for this device. However, despite using two different tools, the standalone smart GPS tool and the online browser-based one, none of them were able to actually install it on this device, even though it did show us that something that should be compatible with this device. So I'm not sure what's going on there, and the complaint was that there's not enough memory here, insufficient space, which is a lie, because well, I tried to remove actually the map completely, so just the whole 2 gigs of space was available for the firmware update, which is only about like whatever 100 meg, something like that. I even used the micro SD card for 8 extra gigs, so yeah, none of that was working, and I did see some references online that yeah, that's a problem with the software. Yeah, it just does not update it properly. Regardless, I don't think there's really much value in updating the software itself, but updating the maps, and maps was shown as the most recent available version. Yeah, so I kept it as is, so it's still usable. again, with whatever version of maps there is. So one thing I wanted to mention actually for all these, I believe, automotive GPS devices, the batteries are pretty terrible, even when they were new, and certainly didn't become better as they age. So most of them pretty much dead on the arrival at that stage, which usually is not a big problem because you're supposed to power them up well, from the car power supply while navigating, so that's fine. Except the caveat there is that despite the mini USB connectors that all of them have, literally none of them allow powering in navigation mode using normal GPS cables. So what happens is they actually need special cables that, of course, both Garmin and Magellan are happy to sell you at a hefty markup because they're slightly different, and these devices can detect if they're custom cables, and only then they allow navigation and not just connection to the computer for map and firmware updates. So powering up in the regular sort of like driving mode, you cannot do with the regular mini USB cable. So the difference between the custom cable and the regular cable is that the fifth, or rather fourth, pin in the cable is actually connected to the ground, which is normally not the case in the regular cables. However, if you can find the OTG on the go USB connectors, USB cable with mini USB connector, which is not very common, but they are available. You can find them. Yeah, those cables you can use for actually powering up these devices while doing navigation. Or of course you can get some custom cables on eBay or maybe Amazon, or you can buy the original ones that will cost a lot more than the regular USB cable. But apart from that, again, everything else seems to be working, so that's another device done. With that, I'll see you next time.